Bonjour, c'est Roland de Tears for Fears. What happened was I picked up the guitar around about the age of 9 and started learning to play it, and I sort of pretty much immediately could get a rhythm on it. And I used to write songs. In fact, the first song I wrote was when I was 7. So I've always been used to, I was kind of that lonely boy who goes off to his bedroom and just sits and plays his guitar and makes up songs rather than goes out to play football like my brothers did. Okay, so that's kind of, it's always been there. And my parents ran an agency when they were together, which was an entertainment agency, and there was a lot of singers came round. And my big hero when I was about 4 or 5 was this really big guy who was a country and western singer, and he was just a very gentle giant, if you know what I mean. Quite the reverse to my father, who was quite a small and old man. So that's really it. And when I came to the age, if you're good at school in England, they really try and pressurise you into going to university. That's the only career option. Whereas I was thinking, well, I felt it was putting off life. 3 more years of schooling. I wanted to get out there and taste things and see what was happening. And immediately from school, I formed a band, a group. That was it, really. And we had a first recording contract when we were 18. I remember my 20s, this was my 20s, so, and this was the period in which I, made records. So I think that's pretty much what it will be in my mind in the future years. Initially, it feels like we're virtually back in the same place, as if that 4-year gap didn't happen. Although, my hair's grown in the time, so that's different. But hopefully, I think when the records start getting in the charts, if they do, then hopefully it will be a little different, because hopefully we'll maybe be perceived slightly differently. Well, I think the 80s definitely will go down in history as the cautious decade. The decade where virtually everybody tried to be realistic and pragmatic. Okay? I talk about the Western world because that's my experience. Or the first world, So, and I think it's really, hopefully, it was the peak of the arms build-up. And I've seen the emphasis change from people being worried that we're going to blow ourselves up to people being worried that we're now going to destroy the planet. Okay, now I think that was quite a crucial change in perception. So I think it really was almost an answer to the 70s, because it seems like the 70s we kind of lost our way a bit, because everyone was running on the fuel of the 60s, of idealism and that kind of thing, and 70s was the decade where it was proved that faith alone can't move mountains, And 80s again, the decade of cautiousness, I would have said. But hopefully out of this something greater will come.